Hey. Okay, this is kind of one of those stream of conscience videos that I do when I have a bunch of little ideas or little thoughts in my brain that I feel like talking about, but I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just kind of like, it's like just talking to myself, to the camera, sort of, yeah. So anyway, some people actually like these videos. The ones that where I don't really have a clear direction, but I just feel like mulling a few things over. I was thinking this morning about what I said on a video the other day about the little bird who died, and how my first thought was, oh, now you're flying free, little bird, you know, no more pain for you. And might sound strange to a theist, hearing something like that spoken by an atheist, but it doesn't. See, what I don't think Christians or theists understand is we're all wired the same. Just because we, as atheists, are not able to believe in God or a God, doesn't mean that we don't have some magical thinking. And I just have to stop here and point out that when I make videos and talk about stuff, I'm talking about what, see, I like to think. I just like to think. I maybe because I went for so long without, you know, really, I was, encouraged not to think and actually confront my questions. So now it's like I'm making it for lost time. I like to think and get all philosophical and stuff, but no, I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination about really anything. I just like to think and say, you know what, this is what I think about this, you know. So just because I might sound like, you know, no, so it's just me thinking. This is my opinion, take it or leave it, little tiny grain of sand, it's about as much as it's, you know. Okay, so back to the whole atheist thinking about birds flying free after they die. Yeah, we all have little kids inside of us. I don't think, the older I get and the more older people I get to know, the more I believe that we never lose that little kid. We're always little kids inside looking out in the mirror at an older face going, what the fuck happened? You know, wait a minute. You know, there's like this weird thing. Or you have your adult you, and deep down inside you still have the little kid you. Sometimes I get the little kid me triggered by smells, you know, like the smell of mildew on canvas reminds me of my dad's old army tent, or fresh cut grass reminds me of walking behind my dad while he was mowing the lawn. That was one of the things I did when I was really little. Smell is a really powerful thing. Anyway, we all have, to some degree, some of us more than others, a little kid inside of us. So, you know, you lose an animal or a little animal dies or something, of course you're going to think, you know, well, you know, it's just, I think it's just how we're all hardwired. I think, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, what's wrong with having a little hope inside that something is free of pain and maybe continues on in some way, shape, or form somewhere else? I don't think that there's any harm in that. But what I think is sad is I think religion comes along and exploits that little childish, magical hope that we carry inside us. It exploits it. It says, well, you know, that is possible, but you need to jump through this hoop and this hoop and this hoop, and you need to pay us so much money and give us so much of your time and walk around and try to bring other people. You know, it's like those pyramid scams. I've gotten roped by a couple of those where you think you're gonna earn some money if you get into it, and then you find out the way you earn money is to get more people to get into it. It's like one sucker has to go out and find more suckers. So it's kind of like you have to learn how to be a con artist to get any money from those things. Yeah. So that's kind of what it is. It's like you get into it, and then the way to go to heaven, the way to whatever, is you have to do whatever it says in the handbook. Believe what it says. Think about other people the way it tells you to. Treat other people the way it tells you to. Put labels on people. Start seeing things in black and white, just the way it says. Well, we're all sinners. You know, it tells you we're all sinners. We all need this. It's like saying to, you know, diet pill is going to tell everybody, oh, you know, you all want to lose that 5 pounds, right? Even the skinniest person, it's trying to appeal to the skinniest person. You need this because even though you're skinny, there's still that 5 pounds that you don't want to have, right? That's how it is. It's like it tells us we all have a problem. We're all sinners. We all need this cure-all, and the only way to get it, there's only one way to get it. Those other ways, they don't work. Comparing us to the other names. Yes, it's the same fucking thing. So anyway, I think it's sad. It exploits it. It takes something that's childish and harmless and innocent. You know, the little dream that one day we might see a beloved pet again, or maybe not even that. We just like to think that it's in a better place. And who's to say? Maybe it is. I don't think it takes religion to have that little happy hope inside, and we don't know. But what I do know for a fact is religion's bullshit, and it's all made up by people, and so are the gods made up by people. I think the biggest thing to give away that it's a man-made religion is if the God needs you for something. If it needs your worship, if it needs your time, if it needs your praise, if it needs your obedience, if it needs your money, it's man-made. It's all a racket. I was going to say bracket. Racket! It's a scam. It's just a scam. So anyway, I'm looking at my time here. Okay, that's one of the first thoughts that was floating around in my mind this morning, and I'm trying to think if there was a couple other ones I was thinking of, and oh yeah, no, that's not it. Maybe this is all I'm going to talk about because I can't remember the others now. But this was the most important one, so I wanted to touch on it first. And yeah, I'm hoping that if I babble now for a few minutes, the others will come to me, but they're not really. So I guess that'll be some. And my dog is howling. Anytime a cat walks by her, anytime there's any sound, the dog goes off. It's like I never wanted to have a little yappy dog, and here I have one. And it's good though. It's teaching me tolerance. It's teaching me, to whatever. Shoot, it's frustrating because I had these other ideas in my head that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I know. This is more about distorted thinking. Yes, I actually had a couple more ideas about distorted thinking pop into my head. It actually had to do with putting on the makeup this morning. It's like, no, I don't hardly put any on anymore. I used to be so stuck on makeup. We could go camping in the most primitive part of the world, and I'd be in the truck putting the makeup on before anything. And my former husband would give me a bad time about it. And it's like, I'm not going to be seen with it. It's like, first of all, it's wonderful. The one good thing about getting older, at least for a woman, is the feeling like, oh, you know what? I've been there, done that. I could sit in front of a mirror and try to put makeup on forever, and I'll still look almost exactly the same as I did without it. It really doesn't change your appearance that much, but we get this this whole mentality that you have to have makeup, or you're just, you know, it's like, okay, so first of all, unless you're gorgeous, if you're really gorgeous, you don't need makeup. I know several people that walk around without makeup and you wouldn't even know they didn't have makeup on because they're that gorgeous. If you're plain, like myself, you put a little makeup on, yeah, you look better, okay, but how much better? You know, to get to the point where you're feeling like you can't be seen because holy shit, you're just gonna break cameras if you're... See, I have been on video a lot and the camera is still there, so okay. See, there's proof that you don't have to. I think it's liberating. I have actually gone out. I've even gone to work without any makeup, and I find it kind of liberating. Nobody stops in their tracks and pukes at the sight of me. Nobody even notices it. It's like people get this whole I'm the center of the universe mentality, like, oh, everybody's gonna notice if I don't look this certain way. Not so much. Although if you're drop dead gorgeous, people notice, and you know, that's probably a good feeling, at least sometimes. I imagine even that gets old for people after a while. But I wouldn't know. Anyway, this is the other thing, is I was gonna say that the whole dependency on makeup and the whole obsession with appearance is just a good example. Another good example of a distorted thinking is, and this has happened to me so many times I can't even say. You have a great conversation with somebody that you think is good looking, you know, and you're like, hi, how you doing, you know, because you think they're hot, and they're kind of looking funny at you, and you don't know why they're not smiling so much back. You're like, what's wrong? Why is he looking at me that way? And then about an hour later, you go and look in the mirror, and there's something not so right about your face. Maybe you got something in your teeth, or maybe you have a zit, you know, like right here, and then it's like, oh my God, that's why they were looking at me that way. That's just it. That's just like, you actually try to crawl into their head and imagine what they were thinking. Oh, it must have been the thing in my teeth and they were grossing out and they were trying not to. And then you feel really, really, oh shit, you're just mad. That's a distorted thought. It's a distorted thought. You don't even know what they were thinking. That's another thing that people do, and I do all the time, is you try to think what somebody else is thinking, or guess at what somebody else is thinking, and then you build up from there. It's like, oh my God, and you're so embarrassed, and that might not have even been something they noticed. Or you might think somebody's having a bad day and they give you a funny look, and you build up, oh my God, they hate me, what have I done, did I say something wrong? What you immediately jump to conclusions, and then you let that create a feeling inside. You could feel bad about it or whatever, and you're all walking around feeling bad about something, and you don't even know for sure if that was the case in the first place. That's distorted thinking too, and that's something I do a lot. So, or thinking somebody notices something that you immediately notice because you're your worst critic, and you immediately think that's why they were giving you a look. They might have a headache. The look that they had on their face might have absolutely nothing to do with you, or they might have just had something else happen that you don't know about at home, like the water heater just broke and they're thinking about that. And they're talking to you and you're thinking that it has to do with you because they've got a funny look on their face. There's so much more going on in their lives, and it could have absolutely nothing to do with you. So this is something else I've been working on, is trying to not read into things, other people's expressions or whatever. If someone's in a bad mood, don't immediately think it's because of you. Because that gets you down, and what's really getting you down is not them, but yourself. You're creating the thought yourself that gets you down. You're your own worst enemy. So that's another distorted thinking, and a lot of people do it, you know, even to small degrees. We all do it, I think. It's just how much we let that control us, you know. So, okay, now I have to go to work. But those were actually the two things that I had in my mind that I wanted to discuss on this. This would be one of those videos called Random Thoughts. So if you've been watching, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.